Let's be honest, you're probably watching this on an iPhone. And if I'm right, then you're also probably listening to this audio on your Apple Airpods. And maybe, just maybe, you just check the time on your Apple Watch while multitasking doing homework on your MacBook. That last 15-second experience, including the iPhone 13, AirPods Pro, Apple Watch Series 7, and MacBook M1, could cost you $4,070 US. Millions of consumers worldwide are deeply entrenched into Apple's ecosystem. In 2021, Apple sold 229.8 million iPhones. That's enough to give everyone living in the UK an iPhone 3 times and still have 28 million phones left over. Apple has grown its market to more than just the iPhone though, selling 110 million AirPods, 71 million iPads, 20 million MacBooks, and 40 million Apple Watches in 2020, not to mention 70 million Apple Music subscribers and 40 million Apple TV subscribers. And what's worse, or should I say better, is that Apple inherently traps millions of users into continually buying their products, using a strategy I like to call the forbidden fruit. Apple products, Garden of Eden, never mind. Let's tell the story of how someone goes from a non-Apple user to an avid Apple consumer, thousands of dollars entrenched in Apple's ecosystem. It all starts with advertisement. Apple is known for using some of the best cinematography in their advertisements. Their ads give an almost magical effect on consumers, and as someone who also likes making videos, their ads have always seemed better produced than that of their competitors. And this stems all the way back to perhaps the most influential day in consumer tech history.
This is a day I've been looking forward to for 2.5 years.
January 9th, 2007, Steve Jobs gave one of the best phone intro speeches in history and presented the phone in his own unique and powerful way. And ever since his death, Apple prides themselves on displaying their tech in a distinct and impressive way. All that being said, their ads are not nearly the most impressive way of advertising themselves. Their most impressive way is through their own consumers. If you were anything like me, your friends clown you for having Android. And while most of their arguments for buying an iPhone were completely stupid, idiotic, and borderline disrespectful to other phone manufacturers, as noted in my Apple Rant video, this demonstrates how Apple has created a community extremely loyal to their brand. In fact, 90% of people who buy an iPhone will eventually buy another one. After watching a couple Apple ads and seeing the majority of your peers with an iPhone, you finally make the purchase. You're trapped. The iPhone is the anchor to their strategy, and they have more tricks up their sleeve. So features like FaceTime, AirDrop, iMessage, games, and those oh so satisfying blue bubbles keep people coming back for more. You see, and while these features may seem relatively unimportant when it comes to making that purchase decision for a cell phone, those features have huge implications when it comes to furthering Apple's success simply because they exclude non-Apple users. You see, Apple has made the oh-so-convenient decision to not allow non-Apple users to participate in iMessage, games, AirDrop, and FaceTime. And I know, and you probably know, a good amount of people actually buy an iPhone simply to have access to those exclusive features. You see, Apple has realized that having a phone is not an individual experience, it's a communal one. And I think Apple has become the most efficient at allowing its users to share information and communicate with each other, most efficiently noted through the Apple ecosystem. After all, that's what phones were built for, communication. Not only are users invested in these efficient communication systems, but they're also forced into a whole new digital world, having a new Apple ID and storing their photos in Apple Cloud. While almost all other phone manufacturers use Google to store information, Apple uses its own independent database, making switching phones that little bit more difficult. This is why even if the iPhone doesn't sport the most decked out spec list, as they only implemented a high refresh rate screen this past year, their users will continue to purchase the iPhone because in just one purchase they created so much emotional equity. Leaving iPhone would mean ditching the iMessaging system. No more AirDrop, no more iMessage games, no more Apple Cloud, and no more convenience. But the real killer is probably embodied in probably the second most influential tech product in the Apple lineup. The Apple Airpods. If you don't own these, I can say with almost certainty that you know someone who does, which is a ridiculous thing that I'm even able to say. Released in December of 2016, these little buds have sent shockwaves through the entire tech community. Let me share a quick stat. Apple's AirPod revenues alone generated $23 billion in revenue during their 2020 financial year. This is more than Twitter, Spotify, and Square combined. Don't get me wrong, Apple has done a great job with their tech products, providing a high quality experience. But let's not pretend like the AirPods weren't released in the same event in which they removed the headphone jack. And the more someone buys Apple products, the deeper they are in the proverbial hole. This time, it's financial equity that prevents anyone deeply entrenched in Apple's ecosystem to leave. Remember that 15-second experience at the beginning of the video? It's entirely possible that millions of people may have thousands of dollars worth of Apple products. Now think about the small percentage of those people who maybe want to buy an Android after using an iPhone. All of a sudden, their Apple Watch becomes a ridiculously overpriced paperweight, their AirPods become extremely less convenient, and their MacBook loses hundreds of dollars worth of features it once had when pairing it with the iPhone. So, essentially, leaving the Apple ecosystem suddenly becomes the cheaper option. Once inside it, the walls keep getting higher.
All that said, Apple makes great products. You know, the iPhone, AirPods, iMac, they're all pretty revolutionary, but maybe, just maybe, there's some trickery involved as well.
You know who else uses a similar strategy? Elon Musk. Watch this video. Check it out. Promise you, it's worth it.